What up? What up? What up, Who That Nation? This is my first live No Cap, No Filter Saints hosted by Marley G. So bear with me. I'm still learning all the, you know, ways the StreamYard goes. But, come join me. Let's talk some Saints football. If you want to, we could talk about the Pelicans too. They actually play tonight versus the Warriors. I'm excited to see that. Hopefully, Zion and Ingram could put together another win for us, get us in that 3-0 win column. Feel good to be a Saints fan and a Pelicans fan as of right now. Both of the teams, are on a win streak right now. A short win streak for the Saints, but hopefully we could put together some wins. We got a few, uh, injury uh things going our way for once. Kirk Cousins, he might not play. Justin Jefferson might not play. I just heard that Grady Jarrett, he's gonna be inactive for our game for injury he suffered. Justin Fields, I think he's not gonna play next week in a dome. So, man, for once, the injury bug, ain't really on us. But of course, once the injury bug not on us, that's when we're doing just underwhelming and just not performing to our standards, not out there executing. And I really feel like it's the coaches. I don't really think that it's more so the players. I think it's just, the coaches are not putting the players in the best chance to succeed. Now, don't get me wrong, the players do have to take the field and execute, and I do think they're supposed to, execute to the best of their ability, and they gotta be out there and leave it all on the field. And some of the players are not, executing that well. But I don't think that's the main reason we're losing these games. I think when it comes to the players, I think the most important position on the field is, of course, quarterback. And as of late, Derek Carr hasn't been playing too well, in my opinion. But this last game, you got to give credit when credit is due. He had a monster game. Um, Granted, the O line was doing very good. AK and Taysom Hill had a big game. When AK and Taysom Hill have big games like that, it's very hard to lose. Like, this game really reminded me of the Seahawks game last year. Like, everything about it reminded me of it. Like, it was just a back and forth thing going on. Our defense has played good, but soon as we play we played the Seahawks, it was just like, dang, we can't really stop these dudes. These dudes might get 30 on us. And that's exactly what happened when we played the Colts. These dudes was just doing good offensively, but in the second half, our defense, we made the adjustments. You can always count on DA to make these adjustments and go ahead on and stop what's been working in the first half. But I do think we still need to get better when it comes to just starting off hot on defense. These last three games, I think teams has been putting up like 17 points on us before the half. So we can't let that happen. And then the offense just gotta get a boat and come in the second half and just, find some identity. Like, we can't have that going forth, especially when we play some good teams. Like, I think the Lions are a good team. Like, that's probably going to be the best team we gonna face all season. Them and the Jaguars. I do think it's gonna be another tough game versus the Bucks. I think it's gonna be some tough games versus the Falcons. You still gotta remember they got Jared out, but at the same time they got our old defensive coordinator Ryan Nelson over there. So he gonna knows Pete Carmichael's tendencies. He's gonna very well be prepared for all the things that we do. But you could say Pete Carmichael could kind of know his tendencies. You could say that DA knows his tendencies. Maybe DA could give Pete Carmichael some tips on what Ryan Neeson likes to do with his defense. And we also know Ellis. We know his weaknesses, but he also know our weaknesses. So it's gonna be a real good chess match. The game within the game between us. I'm really excited to see our defense against Bijan Robinson and Algier. So it's gonna be a match to watch. Um, I don't know if we're gonna be playing Tyler Heineke. I mean, yeah, I don't know if we're gonna be playing Taylor Heineke, but if we do, cool. If we don't, I'm ready for it as well. So we got some tough matchups coming across us. in the future. Like, yeah, it's an easy schedule and it got even easier with these injuries, but the teams in our divisions plus the Lions, I think it's gonna be some tough bouts. But let's go ahead on and talk about Chris Olave, man. Chris Olave, I've said it before. Michael Thomas and Alvin Kamara needs to be wide receiver one and running back one, and the offense need to be running through them going forth. I said this already, and as you could see last game, it seemed like we was trying to do that with Kamara, and it seemed like we was trying to get the ball to Mike, but Derek Carr was just kind of missing Mike when it comes to these slant routes, and the turf just wouldn't doing us no favors. Like that's another reason why that Sean Payton was just so adamant about guys wearing the right cleats when we playing these games. Um, you know, cleats in the surface like that make a difference on how you getting your routes ran. That make a difference on a turnover or a gain. Like it is so important to me having the right cleats on for the right surface in games, and you should be going out there see which one you need to wear during the pregame. Um, Mike, he slipped. It is what it is, you know. But at the end of the day, when it comes to certain moments, you could really count on Mike to make a play. Like the play that Chris Olave dropped, I feel like even if the lights were in his face, I think Mike has enough focus to still come down with that ball in that situation because it was such a moment where we kind of could have put the game away, you know, earlier than it could have been, and we could have had our defense out there just having their ears pinned back to stop the Colts offense and Gardner Minshew. But Chris Olave dropped the ball. I think a lot was going on with Chris Olave. Just he's in his head. He's starting to hear the outside noise. Um, I think also a lot of times he catch the ball, he need to cut upfield and get more yak with the ball. Like that was one of the emphasis he wanted to work on this season, get more yak and coming down with contested catches throughout the play, coming down with the ball as he's hitting the ground. He put on some weight to kind of help with that, but when it comes to getting his yak that he could be getting when he could just turn on field sometimes, I think he need to focus in more and dial up more yardage when it comes to that. Um, I still feel like he's the most talented receiver on a team. As far as just skill sets, because his route running ability is just smooth. His deep ball is just something that you got to watch for, and he actually has good hands. Like it just when it comes to those 50-50 balls and coming down with it. But I still think that he's the most talented, but right now you just got to go with the more efficient, sure thing, in Michael Thomas. You don't have to be a high flyer to be, wide receiver one on your team. You don't. You could just go out there and just be efficient and just be dependable. And that's what I think Michael Thomas brings to the team: efficiency and dependability. Just like Keenan Allen on the Chargers. Like nobody's whining that Keenan Allen on the Chargers is their wide receiver one, and he's not a high flyer. But one thing about it, Justin Herbert gonna, get him them targets. And Justin Herbert gonna more often than none put the ball on him. So when it comes to who's wide receiver one and who's wide receiver two, I actually feel like Mike is a wide receiver one or should be getting those targets as if he's wide receiver one, just to kind of like, let Chris Olave go through what he's going through and, he could just get back in the offense when he can. Like it's still he's still going to be starting out there. It's just I think the majority of targets need to go to Mike. It's just like a humbling situation, just like with the benching of Penny. We all was mad about it. Well, I ain't gonna say we all were mad, but a lot of people was mad about it because we felt like it was going to hurt his confidence. But since the benching of Penny, look at the offensive line. The offensive line has been doing much better. Like a lot of people think that Pete should just keep the starting role at left tackle, even though I think he had a tough day versus the Jags, but I don't think he gave up a sack. So it's still good that he didn't, but I still think he was giving up a lot of pressures. But last game versus the Colts, he did pretty good. Like he did good, Garcia did good. So, it's just like a humbling situation, and sometimes it's probably for the best. And I think it'll be for the best to just get Mike more targets. And even Rashid, like when it comes to certain catches, I just feel like Rashid just give a little bit more effort than Olave. Like he'll give more effort in turning the ball upfield and trying to get more yards. He'll give more effort in trying to catch a 50-50 ball. Like that pass that takes him through the Rashid, I really feel like had he threw that ball to Olave, Olave might not come down with that catch. I don't know. And like Olave did come down with some good catches throughout the year so far. Don't get me wrong. But it just like in certain moments when you need him the most, it's like, man, he just, you know, kind of just get off track. But man, I can't think of a player who had a worse October than Chris Olave. Maybe Trevor Penning. Maybe Trevor Penning. But that's our two first round picks of last season, and we just gotta hope that these guys, get it together. We really gotta have these guys pan out. Thank God we had drafted Alante Taylor. But as far as wide receivers go, I feel like Mike should be number one, Chris Olave should be number two, and I feel like Rashid Shaheed should be number three. But I also feel like he need to have more plays dialed up for him, like not even just passing routes, but like screens and jet sweeps, and we need to really put the ball in this guy's hands and get him the ball in open space. Like he need more play designs for him. Like that's one thing I don't like about Pete Carmichael. Like he's not putting a lot of our guys in the best position to win. Like this dude is more than just a go route uh wide receiver like Robert Meacham. Like this dude could really do a lot when you put the ball in his hands. The same as Taysom Hill. Like Taysom Hill, he's a gadget guy, but I feel like Rashid Shaheed could be a gadget guy in his own right. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like at the end of the day, you helping a team win and you getting a whole lot of scrimmage yards. You getting a whole lot of scrimmage yards. Just because you ain't got the receiving yards, don't mean that you know. Well, just because you get more touches in other places, don't mean that you're not a wide receiver. Like they try to put that same narrative on Debo Samuels. Like you see it with CD Deuce, and he's saying, "Oh, you're not a real wide receiver. You can't do this and you can't do that. You're a running back playing wide receiver." Nah, man, he just a multi-gifted uh player. That's all. You seeing the same thing with Tyreek Hill. Like these dudes are just multi-gifted, and when you have a skill set like that, you need to utilize it. The same thing with Kyler Sanders. You need to utilize his skill set. Like this dude is very athletic to be a defensive lineman, and when you that athletic to be a defensive lineman, you could go ahead on and put him at fullback. Like we seen it with JJ Watt. Like JJ Watt did the same thing when he played for the Texans. Like utilize your multi-skilled ability players. You got to. Like, what's the point of having all this skill and you not utilizing it? So that's one thing I dislike about Pete Carmichael. Like, I just feel like a lot of players could be having a way better season than we are. Like Jimmy Graham should have at least 5 touchdowns right now. Like just in red zone situations. That'll definitely help Derek Carr, and that'll definitely help the offense put points on the board. Because right now we just need to punch the ball in the red zone most. And thankfully we had a good red zone last game. Now another thing I want to say about Pete Carmichael is it's a rumor going around that secretly Ronald Curry has been calling the plays ever since halftime of the Jazz game. I don't know if you guys heard that rumor, but that's been a rumor. And if not, we definitely made some changes like with the offense. Like I just think if that's not the case, it's definitely the case of just playing with more up tempo. Like, just get into the line of scrimmage faster, like, with the 2 minute offense. Like I think we definitely incorporated that to the offense a little bit more. It just might not seem like it, but just doing everything a little bit more quicker and faster and getting in a rhythm, I think has been a change for the better. Um, What's another thing I want to get to? Dennis Allen, man. We got this one win right now. Everything is served on a silver platter for him. Like, we got this easy schedule. We just got to go out there and go execute. And the good teams, they beat the teams that they supposed to beat. Like, yeah, you might lose a game here and there that you wouldn't post to, but more often than not, the good teams beat the teams that they supposed to beat. And the bulk of your schedule, it's gonna always be against teams that you're supposed to beat. Like you're gonna have very few games when you're just going against Super Bowl contenders. And one thing about it, Dennis Allen never beat a Super Bowl contender. That's the thing. Like his whole tenure with the Saints, name me one legit playoff team that we beat that was healthy. You can't name one. He has no wins like that. The only playoff team that we beat, I think we beat the Eagles last year. We beat the Seahawks last year, but I'm talking about that was healthy, and we beat them at all phases of the game. Like we beat them in offense, we beat them in defense, we beat them in special teams. Last year when we played the Seahawks, we lost when it came to the defense because they put over 30 something points on us, maybe over 35. Like, okay, we won a game, but when it came to the defense, we lost in that face of the game because, they put up way too many points for my liking. I like when a defense don't give up more than 20. Like, that's when I think a defense had a good day, when they didn't give up more than 20. Um, and we also got to think about complementary football. Like the defense can't just be on the field all day when the offense go three and out. Like it's a complementary football game. You got to think about the punting. Lou Hedley, he got to punt the ball further enough and pin the offense back, so the defense ain't got to just play on the short field and with good field position. Like you got to think about the complementary things. Also, I feel like you know when it comes to playing a legit team, we played the Eagles and they had Jalen Hurts out. So that win, I don't really count that. Like I want to beat a team in all three phases of the game that's a legit team, and on top of that, they relatively healthy. Like when the Ravens beat the Lions, okay, they get credit for that because they beat them in all three phases of the game: special teams, offense, and defense. They destroyed them. The same thing with the 49ers and the Cowboys, destroyed them. Like we don't have a stamped win like that. Um, Hopefully Dennis Allen could get that when we play the Lions, but I highly doubt it. I don't even know if Dennis Allen could win 4 games straight. Like I think through Dennis Allen whole time as the Saints head coach, I think the most wins we won in a row was 3. And like that was late in the season last year. And that was to 9 playoff teams. Like we can only beat 9 playoff teams that just have bad coaches or like they just trying to figure it out. Like it just seemed like we didn't got that stamp win yet. But hopefully we could put something winning. I'm not all about losing. I don't want to uh, lose on purpose to have a better draft pick and things like that. But if it was to happen, this is the right year for it to happen. That's all I'm saying. And on top of that, we could bring a new coach in. He could start his own regime, bringing his own guys. And I'm willing to take that sacrifice to the defense for that to happen, because I still feel like the defense got good players. I just think we just need a competent defensive coordinator to come in and call the defense. Might not be as good as Dennis Allen, but at least the offense could take a huge step forward. So that kind of balance it out. Um, yeah, man, this is going to be exciting to see how we pull through to these next games because everything is just right in our favor, and we about to play in a dome. It's been a while since we had a good game in a dome. We played the Bears, young quarterback. Man, I think the defense need to get right. Speaking of the defense, shouts out to Foskey. He made a good play, even though it wasn't a fumble, which I feel like they wasn't gonna call it a fumble just because we had the same similar play happen versus the Titans in week 1 where it wasn't a fumble for us with Derek Carr. So I kind of felt like they weren't going to give us that. But shout out to Foskey for making that play. We need young guys to step up like this, especially while Cam is not the same Cam that he once was. We need these guys. I keep saying it and saying it again that we missing Peyton Turner in this defensive pass rotation. We really desperately missing him. I know if he was still healthy, he would have at least about 4 sacks with Carl Granderson right now, too. They'll probably be neck and neck, in my opinion. I do think Carl Granderson is probably better though because he beat him out in training camp. So, but I do think that having that rotation pass rusher with Peyton Turner is what we desperately missing. Like that's why these quarterbacks getting time to throw the ball. Why you think that Garner Minshew got all that time when he threw that long touchdown in the second half in the end zone? It was on Jordan Howden and Lonnie Johnson, I think. But shout out to Lonnie Johnson. He's been playing pretty good for us this season. I wish he would have caught that pick that he could have had in that Bucks game, I think it'd have been a whole different chain of events what happened had he did caught that pick. But shouts out to Lonnie Johnson, shouts out to Jordan Howard, and I'm really liking those two dudes as safeties. If Tyron or Marcus May was to miss a game here and there due to injuries, I think Nick Underhill been raving about Jordan Howard all off season, and we really see that Nick knows what he's talking about. Um, I feel like Nick he been talking about Jordan Howard in this whole time, and it's really paying off. It's curious. I'm curious to see what he has with more snaps. Because if we move on from Marcus May in the future, hopefully Jordan Howard could come up in here and he could really do his thing and be that future of the safeties for our team. Now, I want to talk about Marshawn Lattimore, man. Everybody talking about when Marshawn Lattimore gives up a catch or draws a flag. Man, this man is holding guys under 100 yards game in and game out. 100 yards game in and game out, and he's not really giving up touchdowns like that. Like, if you just look across the league and just look at what the average cornerback is doing, you'll be really appreciative of what Marshawn Lattimore is doing. Like, y'all obviously wasn't there during the days of Brandon Brown and Corey Wine and Ken Crawley, Jason Kraft, Fred Taylor. I could go on and on. Sean Stanley Batiste. Like, man, these dudes was just getting burnt left and right, game in and game out. And when you get a cornerback that could shut down the whole field like Lattimore is, you don't give that up. You don't give that away. That's why I think the Broncos, they'll be crazy if they trade Surtain. He younger than Lattimore. So, man, Lattimore is in his prime right now. I really felt like we need to keep him as long as we got a Super Bowl window. And I still feel like we do have a Super Bowl window. I just think it's mainly the coaching. That's mainly what I think it is when it comes to us. Um, we get the coaching right, we could be straight. And I just feel like Dennis Allen. I don't think he's the right coach for us. But if he gets another chance next year, it is what it is. I just hope he at least pick a quarterback in the first or second round. A lot of people want Penix Jr. Some people want Jaden Daniels, but me, it don't matter. Just get somebody, and we could just have our own guy. We seen the Falcons just lost to Will Levis. Will Levis put up 4 touchdowns. And you could kind of see that he might just be the future of the Titans. And a lot of Titans fans just been wanting this type of young quarterback to come in and have a breath of fresh air for their team for a long time. Like, if you go to a Titans fan base right now and talk to them, they just so happy with what they seen with Will Levis and their franchise. They pulled the trigger on that quarterback and took Will Levis, and they took Malik Willis the year before. And that's what I think the Saints need to do. We need to get another quarterback and let him sit behind Derek Carr for at least a year, groom him in, let him know the offense. I don't think Pete Carmichael is going to be the play caller next year, so let him know the offense on whoever is going to be the head coach or the offensive coordinator who's going to have that marriage with him. And, you know, he just going to have to just, come in the game and figure it out on the fly. But in the meantime, he could battle it out with Jake Hayner. Same way Will Levis and Malik Willis did. They battled it out. Whoever the best man win, well, he's going to earn a starting job. And as far as Jameis Winston go, hopefully Jameis could go to another team and revive his career. I'll be rooting for Jameis as long as he don't play for the Panthers, the Bucks, or the the Falcons. I really want Jameis to go do good and have that revival of his career like Geno Smith is having in the Seahawks. I think he still has a lot in the tank. I just think he needs the right marriage, like I say, with a head coach or his offensive coordinator, and he could succeed, especially if he got pieces around him. I think they have a lot of good pieces around for Geno Smith. That's the reason why he is succeeding. Um, and Derek Carr, I really feel like Derek Carr, he had a good bounce back game, but it's easy to have a bounce back game when you got Taysom Hill and Alvin Kamara running like that. But like I said, the offensive line, they stepped up, they gave him time, and when they gave him time and he wasn't out there just, having happy feet, and he wasn't out there just, being, rushed on his QB clock in his head. He made some good decisions with the ball. It was a few balls I like to have seen him throw better. One to Olave and like one to Michael Thomas. But other than that, he had a solid game. And I really feel like the last 2 weeks, I think Derek Carr was injured, man. Like I think that play that he suffered in that Packers game, I really feel like his arm was hurt and his ribs was hurt. Like this dude really went to the hospital. It ain't like he just stayed in the stadium. He went to the hospital. If he went to the hospital, it had to be something up. And the Saints are known for just playing players they got no business playing while they get injured. We seen it last year with Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston went down and they still played him when they could have had Andy Dalton just come in and beat a backup and let him play for like until Jameis Winston gets right. That's what a backup is for. And I feel like these last 2 weeks that we lost, I think some of that was because I think Derek Carr was just playing through injury. But, you know, well, not the last 2 weeks. I think the Jags game, I think he was pretty much straight or whatever. But the two games prior before that, that Bucks game and that Texans game, I think Jameis Winston could have came in and won those games. If we just played around Jameis Winston, if we planned around him throughout the week and got him some reps with the first team, I think Jameis could have did a solid job and we could have won those games. Like we were just lacking in deep plays when we was lacking in uh red zone, and that's what Jameis thrives at. So, and it's crazy because when we have these offensive line issues and people was getting on Derek Carr for not calling slide protection and he can't read in defenses and all that. They were saying the same thing about Jameis Winston. Like it's not a coincidence. Sometimes it's just it's the play caller and the offensive line got to get these guys time. That's it. And you seen that versus the Colts. Now, granted, the Colts don't have a good defense. Like don't get it twisted. Like we got some breaks when it comes to this schedule. It's just we gotta just you know we still got to go out there and beat these teams. Like at the end of the day, we still got to go out there. We got to beat these teams, and we got to play who on our schedule. And the good teams beat the teams that they're supposed to beat. Simple as that. So let me go ahead on and try to uh, add a caller in. I see Jerry. He's in the chat. Shout out to Jerry. Saints OG. When it comes to this YouTube universe, Jerry, if you're still in the stream, you could try to call in. I put the link down there. If you can, that's cool. If you can't, let me know. I'll probably try it again. It's my first time on stream, y'all, so you gotta bear with me. Um, so yeah, while we waiting on Jerry, we must talk about I'm gonna go ahead on and talk about let's see what we could get to. Yeah, special teams, man. Blake Groupie. Blake Groupie kicked another kick at the end of the game. I don't know if you guys caught it. Y'all probably was celebrating and y'all felt like the game was over. But Blake Groupie kicked a kick at the end of the game, and this kick was almost missed. And it was a fairly close kick. Easy to make, non-pressure moment. Well, I guess it was a little pressure because if he missed that kick, they would have got the ball and they would have still had a little time to you know, I guess go for a Hail Mary and, try to make something happen. But it was mostly a personal pressure kick to me. That's what I think. And he almost missed it, but he still made it. But man, I just think Blake Groupie gotta get better. I think we're gonna have to bring in somebody else for competition. But we definitely need to get a new punt. Like I don't even think we just need to bring somebody in. We just need to have somebody replace him. Like I think anybody could do better than what Lou Headley is doing. Like this dude is really causing us problems when it comes to punting. It's like he can only punt when we uh when we just outside of field goal range. Like that's it. Other than that, a team automatically going to get some good field positions because he can only punt like 39 yards. Like that's crazy. Blake Meanwhile, you got Blake Griffin in Arizona. He's averaging 50 yards out there. So, man, I just think we should have stayed with Gilligan. I ain't gonna lie. When Dennis Allen went from Lutz to Groupie, I kind of understood the move. I wasn't really, worried about that move. I still kind of wanted Lutz, but by him going with Groupie, I wasn't really tripping. But I really wanted Blake to beat Lou Headley because I really felt like Lou Headley ain't deserved the win. I just felt like we just went with him just for the sake of having somebody new come in, because both of them wasn't doing good with each other. Um, so I just want to think that I just think that when it comes to special team, we definitely, need to get a new punter up in here because we it's a complementary game. Like the offense got to complement the defense got to complement the offense, the special teams got to complement the defense, and it got to complement the offense. The special teams complement the offense with kicks. The special teams complement the defense with punts. So it's a complementary all three phases of the game team effort thing. Um, Another thing I want to say is uh shoot. I really feel like when it comes to this defense, everybody was getting on parts of the Devo, but boy, one game could make everybody change their mind. Everybody was talking about, oh, we need to trade him. We need to bench him and put Alante right back there, and he need to play the slide. Nah, man, this dude cannot play the slide like Alante. If y'all think Olave and y'all think Alante playing the slide a little, underperforming, he really will play more underperforming. You got to have some real good hips and shiftiness when it comes to that slide. And I just think Alante excels at that more than Paulson. I think Paulson is just, he's more suited for the outside than Alante, you know, versus, being in the inside versus Alante. And when it comes to the slide, I just think that Alante is more suited for that than Paulson. So, but other than that, Paulson is a good cornerback, and he has very good hands. I think he used to be a receiver, so that explains why he don't really drop picks ones when it comes his way. Now, Alante Taylor, he drops a lot of picks. Like this dude probably lead the league for almost picks. um, got another viewer in the stream. This is my first time on StreamYard, so if you could, if you want to call in and click the link, you're more than welcome to. But other than that, yeah, man, Paulson Adebo, man, he had a damn good game. He was making tackles. You could almost count on Paulson Adebo to always make a tackle. He rarely ever miss a tackle. He tackles to me. It reminds me of PJ Williams when he tackles. Like when he comes downfield, he gonna lay that wood on the receiver. Um, he was even out there just tackling Jonathan Taylor good. Like, I mean, this dude could really just really tackle very well for a cornerback. And he got sticky fingers when it comes to him getting a hand on the ball. His only problem is flags. And if you notice when he caught that pick, I think they was trying to get a flag. Like I think Gardner Minshew just said, okay, we're gonna go at 29 and we're gonna go deep. It's either gonna be a touchdown or it's gonna be a flag. And I think a lot of teams are just starting to catch up on that. Like a lot of teams are saying, yeah, 6 minutes or under when we need to make a play, we're gonna go at Paulson the Debo. And I think Paulson was just ready for it that time. Now, if you really look at that play, one thing that helped Paulson the Debo was Alante Taylor. They sent him on a blitz. They sent him on a cornerback blitz from the outside, and that kind of, you know, made Gardner Minshew just, messed up his timing or whatever. He kind of like went outside the pocket. He escaped the pressure, and that just made him just throw the ball downfield to Paulson Adebo, kind of like not how he wanted to throw the ball, which means it was kind of like a duck. So he threw a duck in the air, and Paulson Adebo had enough time to locate the ball and just turn around and just easily pick it off. So yeah, man, good team effort from both. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Like I said, man, we get coverage sacks and we get coverage pressure. So we can't really get sacks and stuff from the D line without good coverage. Like we depend on getting coverage sacks and coverage pressure. Um, but it's still a lot of football left to play. Right now, we 4-4. We tied up with the Falcons in the division. I really feel like Mickey is going to make a trade. I don't think it's going to be a big splash trade, but I do think we're going to make some type of trade, and it might be from a fan favorite. It might be from a fan favorite. All right, Jerry, you say you're gonna be in shortly. All right, cool. Talk a little football with Jerry, see what he's thinking on the team, get his thoughts. Like I said, I think that Mickey is gonna make a trade. I don't think it's gonna be a splash trade where we get a big name player, but we might trade some player for some type of draft capital, or we might trade some draft capital for a decent player that we might need. A lot of people want a pass rusher. A lot of people want an offensive lineman. Um, to me, I don't see an offensive lineman that you're gonna get this late in the season. Like a lot of people are having, bad offensive lineman play. And when you got a good offensive lineman, you want to keep him around. Like a lot of people were saying, oh, trade Pete, trade Pete. Man, I said, man, we need to keep Pete, dog. He gonna be our ace in the hole. It's good to have a Pro Bowl offensive lineman on the bench because you gonna never know when you might need him. And lo and behold, Trevor Penning got bitch, and Pete, he's doing better than Penning and Hurst at left tackle. So I kept telling people, man, we need to keep Pete. And a lot of people were saying that, oh, we need to go ahead on and trade Pete to the Jets because no, they were saying, yeah, they need to trade Pete to the Jets because the Jets offensive line wasn't good. We need to trade Jameis. I'm like, man, we need to keep these pieces because if Derek Carr get injured, our season is really over with. But a lot of people feel like, well, if Derek Carr get injured, the season over with anyway because if once you're down to your backup, it's almost you know it's almost just impossible just to get a Super Bowl with a backup. Like everybody can't pull off a Nick Foles type of run. You need to be having a good all around team, and you definitely need to have a good head coach and offensive coordinator. And I definitely think we don't have a good head coach and offensive coordinator. The team is good, but I don't trust the coaching. Now, when it comes to the running backs, I think that Jamal Williams, I think he had a very decent game. I think he had 6 carries for like 30 yards. But those 30 yards, he provided a spark to the team. I think that he was a good change of pace. I think that he's going to get more touches as the season go on. Kendrick Miller, he had a pretty decent game for his limited touches. I think he had like a first down on a screen pass. So he's still figuring things out. Elvin Kamara even said in his rookie year, he didn't start figuring out the offense till like past week 12 or something like that. A lot of guys came to his aid. Even I think Brandon Coleman was helping him with the offense and stuff. Yeah, Brandon Coleman. But yeah, man, when it comes to this, when it comes to this, mm, okay, let me see. Jerry is contacting me. Okay. Let me see how you get Jerry on the phone. All right. Um. All right. I'm about to try to bring in the guest caller. Let's see. Jerry, you in?
Yeah, I'm here, bruh.
All right, man. And yeah, like I said, man, you had to bear with me. This is my first time using StreamYard. Yeah, man. I've been watching TJ, and TJ, he just always been good with it since I've been watching him. But I've also been watching Dolph, and Dolph it be looking like he learning on the fly. So I said, well, shoot, I might be having to learn on the fly like Dolph.
Hey, as long as it takes baby steps, you're gonna be all right, man. And once again, congratulations on your first ever live stream debut.
Yeah, man. Thanks. Hey, Jerry, I got a question for you.
What's going on, bruh?
Man, I'm a real big Saints fan, and I watch a lot of Saints podcasts, and I be all on the podcasts, and you be all over the place, and I be all over the place, and I be calling in, I be leaving my comments, and I be saying to myself, and I say to myself, man, you know what? I could start my own YouTube, and I could just have
Mm-hmm.
people talk to me, and as much as I'm trying to get into the call, and when you call in these podcasts, you only got limited time to speak. But I say if I could start my own podcast, I could just speak as long as I want.
There
And
you
I
go.
always, and I always wonder how come you never started a channel.
Well, you already know I got my own channel. I mean, but they always talk about when you gonna ever start doing your own live stream. I said soon.
Oh, well, yeah. I just always wondered that.
Cause
Like, yeah, you got.
they always ask me that all the time. But I be in certain live certain calls, with TJ and Big Q and Hooded Jew, Dolph 17, WD and chat line. I mean, the list goes on. And they and like Hooded saying in his channel, I'm the one that bring the subscribers to you. So hey, I got it's like family, bro.
Yeah. Well, you are that thing that keep everybody together. You are that glue to keeping this whole, web of, Saints podcasters and YouTubers. You the moderator, like every single one. So, I mean, I guess
I
that's your place for you.
Hey, I'm just blessed, bro.
All right, so go ahead on and let me know what you think about, the game that you seen versus the Colts. Any other thoughts that you might have on your head that you
Hey,
couldn't get out on TJ show because his
yeah,
platform way
I
bigger
know.
than mine. Like the
Yeah.
floor is yours, man. Go ahead on and speak. You ain't got no,
Well,
no time limit.
I know, I know about that, bro. But like I said, I like what I saw yesterday, and I mean, once again, we already know what Taysom Hill can do out there on the field. I know all the positions that he played and all that stuff. But what I saw something a little different on Sunday, and that was a good move to add Kalen Saunders. Not only he could play defense, but he could play a little offense too. It's just like like you doing double duo and like in college football or something like that. But what I saw yesterday really caught my eye, and that's when they added Saunders to the to play fullback.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I think
Uh,
they even did that with the Texans. I think they used to do that with JJ Watt here and there. But yeah,
mm,
man, Colin Sanders, he's a big bowling ball, and he
oh
kind
yes,
of
he
remind me.
is.
He gonna remind me that just that big old wrecking ball that could just get the ball and just get up in there like Jerome Bettis or Mike Allstott.
Hmm.
If you're a Saints fan, you definitely remember Mike Allstott. He get
Oh
his head
yeah. Oh yeah. Y'all, that dude was a beast. I gotta give it to him. Mike Allslot, that's a big dude.
Yeah, but I got a feeling that Peacock Michael, he gonna whip it out sooner or later and actually let him get the ball and run it in for like 2 yards for a touchdown. Hopefully he get the touchdown on his first carry. I just hope that the offensive line could block good for him and don't nobody get in the backfield too quick.
Right. And because we always see the Philadelphia Eagles do it all the time when they in the goal line. So, hey, I guess we're saying if Philadelphia can do it, New Orleans can do it too.
Well, when they do their tush push thing, I really feel like we got the same thing with Taysom Hill, but we just don't do it in
Hmm.
that same type of formation. But I really think we could easily do it in that formation. Like I wish we would have did it versus them last season when we played them in their house. But I really feel like every team got their own little play that they could do that a lot of other teams can't do just simply because they don't have a certain type of player that could do it. But a lot of teams that they do got a similar player they can do it, they just choose not to. And I think we can easily do that Philadelphia play with Taysom Hill.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. But we've been talking about this for weeks and all and everything, and we be all. I'm talking about when I say everybody, no cap, I mean everybody. All of them was on. I mean, they was riding Derek Carr's nuts about how he didn't play this way and how he didn't play that way. But what he did yesterday really shut them up. He finally woke up and played better.
Well, yeah, I think he played better. I think two reasons. I think the offensive line had given him a lot of time, and
Hmm.
not only giving him time, the offensive line actually made holes for the running back. And when you got running backs like Alvin Kamara, and when you got Taysom Hill that could be running the ball like that, that's the quarterback's best friend. And
It
I think
is.
that Pete Carmichael called a good game. Like it wasn't many
Yeah, he
things
did.
Pete Carmichael was doing that I say, man, why is Pete Carmichael doing this? Like it wasn't really that many times. Now I will say this:
Hmm.
rumor has it that Ronald Curry has been calling the plays ever since the halftime of the Jazz game. I don't know how true that is, but that's just the going around rumor. I don't think that he's been calling the plays. I think that Pete Carmichael's still calling the plays. I just think that a lot of people just doing a more up tempo offense right now because
Right.
it started after the halftime at the Jazz game.
I got you.
Yeah.
And and the good thing about that is, I mean, like you said earlier, we sitting at 4-4 right now. We tied with Tampa Bay and Atlanta. Now, I don't know. I hope like the magic we just saw this weekend. We saw the Bills beat the Bucks. We saw the Titans beat the Falcons Sunday, and we won our game. Now, if now we get a repeat like that on this coming Sunday, because we got Chicago coming in, the Buccaneers go to Houston to face the Texans, and the Vikings playing the Falcons Sunday. If that is that same scenario, if both of those teams lose and we beat Chicago, we're gonna be back in first place, like in this picture right here with Chris Olave with the NFC South prediction pick you see on here. If that even though it's not correct, but still, as long as that number one team up on the top is us, I'm good.
Oh yeah, man. I think that a lot of these teams, it could go either way. Like I really feel like the Falcons, they could beat the Vikings, but I feel like the Vikings might beat the Falcons because they ain't gonna
Yeah,
really expect what quarterback is gonna come in for the Vikings. And on
yeah,
top of that, with the
yeah. I heard
Bucks,
about about Cousins being out.
yeah, that's
So
very
hopefully,
unfortunate. Like Dolph
yeah,
was saying, he was putting up MVP type of numbers, but it
he
just the
was
win column was just hurting him with his chances of winning. So
right.
we're gonna
Yeah,
see how they're gonna bounce back from that. But I can tell you, I tell you, man, like we've been having so much injuries, dog. Like when it's happening to other teams, it's like, dang, boy, it's just so surprising that it's not happening to us because we done had some injuries. But I
oh,
always say, man, it's certain. Everybody got injuries, but certain injuries are different than others. The last two seasons before this, when you got your quarterback down, when you got your whole offensive line getting in and out, game in and game out, when you got your wide receiver one, Michael Thomas, you got Marshawn Lattimore, you got these guys that you really count on like key positions. That
mhm.
matters. That matters. So this season is nice to be relatively healthy for once for a change. But of course, we still got
Yeah,
Dennis Allen as the head coach. But and
yeah,
then we playing all these teams and they just getting all these key guys that's getting out for us. It's like, man, what more do you need as Dennis Allen to be served on a silver platter for a playoff berth?
facts, facts.
Yeah, man.
But hey, but as long as we keep this train going, I'm happy we got the win on Sunday. I'm very happy for what I saw. The offense really woke up. They really woke up and played better ball because I said to myself, no cap, I said if we go into Indianapolis and lose this game and for a third time, I just don't. I really, I just really don't see us going in the playoffs the way we playing right now. But they woke up, like I say, they woke up and played a whole lot better. And another thing, they ran the ball more times than they were going to do passing
Yeah.
because we've been saying for years. We just a pass happy team, but
Yeah.
sometimes you just gotta run the ball. That's why you got guys like Kamara and guys like Williams, guys like Taysom Hill, Kendre Miller. If you continue to run the ball the way you haven't been like in these last few games, hey, better things are coming. Better
Oh,
days are coming. Better days are coming.
yeah, the only thing about Taysom Hill is when he had these big games like this, you don't see
Mm,
him having another big game like this until the next 5 6 weeks. Like we just
mm.
can't be,
Yeah.
we can't be consistent when it comes to that. But let me ask you this: do you feel like Mickey is going to make a trade before the deadline tomorrow?
Uh, no, I really don't see it happening. I was hearing a rumor last week. Um, they're gonna try to that Dallas was trying to get Michael Thomas to come to come to the Dallas to play for him by trade. But I don't see it. I don't see it happening. Because Michael Thomas, the guy's having a good year this year. He's healthy. He's staying healthy, like as promised. And they're talking about they're going to trade. Talking about they want to trade from New Orleans for him to go to Dallas. I say I just don't see it happening. if Michael Thomas continue to play like he is and staying healthy, hey, I just don't see it. I just don't see it. And same day with Lattimore, same thing. I just don't see no trades going on Halloween. I mean, you can say trick or treat all you want, but I don't see us getting tricked on Halloween on Tuesday, bro, with these trades coming up.
Yeah, I think that the Commanders they was taking some calls for Sweat or Chase Young. If we could get like one of those guys for like a mid round pick, I'll be fine with that. Help the pass.
Yeah,
And I seen that the Eagles, Howie were trying to take some calls for Derek Barnett. Like he's a good pass rusher. It's just he's on the bench because they got so many other good pass rushers ahead of him. But if I'm Mickey Loomis, I'm not trying to take no calls from Howie because it just seemed like he always get the better the trades when it comes to Mickey Loomis with dealing with Philadelphia.
right.
So
Yeah,
uh,
I know exactly what you mean, bro.
yeah, man, I don't know what's going on with that, but man, do you so how would you feel about that question? Was it John O'Barnes? He posted. He said, "Would
Mm.
you rather us make the playoffs and lose, and bring back Dennis Allen and Pete Carmichael for another season, or would you rather just us kind of just kind of barely miss the playoffs, and it's just chances of hope that we could get a new head coach and offensive coordinator? How
Well,
you feel about that question?"
the way I see it, no cap, that I mean, like I say, if they just keep playing the way they're playing and win at least, because like I said, we're sitting at 4-4 right now, and we got Chicago and Minnesota coming up. If we could just get to like 6-4 and 5-5 before the bye week, we should still be in good shape. Because after the bye week, because we got the Falcons on Thanksgiving weekend, we got Detroit, in December. And I'm a pinpoint right there. We got 3 home games in 3 weeks in the first 3 weeks of December, because we got Detroit on the 3rd, we got the Panthers on the 10th, and we got the Giants on the 17th. Now if they win all 3 of those games at home, because they're gonna be home for quite a while, and and then after that, you got to open up another Thursday night game in Los Angeles against the Rams before Christmas, and then we play the Buccaneers at their house on New Year's Eve to close out 2023,
Mm.
and the season finale is against Atlanta in 24.
So what was your record prediction before the season started, and what you think is going to be now?
Right now, I'm looking at either. See, we 4-4 right now. I'm looking at either 13-4, or 12-5, or 11-6.
I don't.
Either one.
I
As
don't
long
see.
as we have a winning season, no cap. That's all I care about. I mean, I don't see. I mean, some say I don't see us winning 13 games. I don't see us winning 12 games. I don't see us winning 11. I mean, we just gotta take it one game at a time. If we could at least get to like 9 or 10 games or 11, hey, I'm cool with that.
Well, my record prediction was 11-6. I thought our floor was 10-7, and I thought our ceiling was 12-5. But now, after seeing what I'm seeing, I'm thinking that we're gonna be somewhere along the lines of 9-8, or maybe 10-7, maybe 10-7. So if we could get
Yeah.
10 wins, that'll be cool with me. I'll be fine with that. Like, cause like I say, my prediction before the season, our floor was 10 wins and 7 losses, even with the easy schedule, just because of our coaching staff. Like I believe we got the players. Like I believe
We
that we
do.
have players to win. Like even with the quarterback situation, like I believe that we got Derek Carr, and we could win with Derek Carr if we had a better offensive coordinator and head coach. I believe we could win with Jameis Winston if we had a better offensive coordinator and head coach. Like I just really feel like and I think that Derek Carr, I think he was playing injured. Like I think he was playing injured those 2 games after the Green Bay game, because this dude went to the whole hospital. He ain't just like he
Mm.
went to the locker room, got checked out, and came back on the field. No, this dude went to the whole hospital. And the Saints are just known for playing players that they got no business playing. You know, even
Right.
Delvin Brokaw, Sean Payton out on that years ago. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if we'd have just set Derek Carr for like those 2 games after the Green Bay game, I think that James Winston could have just won us one of those games at the very least. And that was the same mistake he made last season when he just didn't sit Jameis after the Falcons game, and he played Jameis against the Bucks and the Panthers and just made Jameis look crazy and then just threw him under the bus. Like that's
Right.
one of my biggest reasons I don't like Dennis Allen. Like the way he did Jameis. That's one of my
Yeah,
biggest reasons that I don't like Dennis Allen, bro.
man. Yeah, I'm not gonna now. I'm not gonna lie to you. And you probably heard me say this on TJ's podcast. I told him, I said, as a defensive coordinator, that on Dennis Allen, that he good, but as a head coach, not good.
Oh yeah, I feel like
Because the reason why, because Dennis Allen is a defensive coach, right?
mhm.
And he's more comfortable when he calls on defensive plays. And that's why the Saints was like around like in the top 5, top 10 when it comes to defenses, because that was his role. But see, now you moved him up to head coach. It's a little bit different than being a defensive coordinator. Because when you're the defensive coordinator and you know defense, they know what they're gonna do.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it just has more responsibility. You got to be a leader of men. You got to, approach all 3 phases of the game and see what's going on with your assistant coaches and your coordinators, and you know focusing on the details. And even when it comes down to cleats, like a lot of people saying, oh,
Yeah,
Mike has made these drops. Well, the first drop, Mike Thomas slipped on a turf. The second drop, the pass was behind Mike Thomas, and it was just a hard catch to bring in because the defender had came and hit the ball out. But you know just the little details like the wearing the right cleats, like Sean was all on top of that. Like, you got to see what type of service you about to play on pregame and just make sure you're wearing the right cleats for that, because everybody was slipping all around in the first half of that game. Even when Chris Olave caught that ball on the sideline, and he could have just turned up and caught like about 15 more yards, and it looked like he shook the player that was, checking him. I think the player just slipped on the turf. So
right.
it's just it's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
it's just all that you got to be on top of when you a head coach versus just being the defensive coordinator and just stopping the opposing team offense next week.
Right.
Yeah. So man, so one more thing I got for you, Jerry. How do you feel about us, getting a quarterback in the first round, even if we have to trade up for him? Like, are you willing to do that for any quarterback this draft?
Anybody that's available. I mean, if that's what we're gonna look for in the first round of next year's draft. I mean,
Is it anybody that you want more than any others? Like,
not one I can think of. I mean, everybody eyeing on Caleb Williams and Deion Sanders, son, playing quarterback. What's his name?
Shadir Sanders.
Shadir Sanders. Him. What that quarterback from Michigan? What that cat name? He number 9.
JJ McCarthy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
him and but I was really looking at that quarterback from Florida State, Jordan Travis.
yeah.
I think if we decide to pick a quarterback in the first round, either one of those guys, I mean, it don't matter to me. I mean, Jaden Daniels of LSU.
And that's who I want. I want either him or I want maybe Penix Jr. That's who I want. Like I
Now
want
that
those.
that that who I want right there. Because Penix Jr. of Washington, that ooh,
Yeah.
that
And then the thing
that
with him, he's
that
left.
dude's a beast.
Yeah. And then the thing with him, he's left-handed. So
Mm-hmm.
he's gonna be able to be his blind side is gonna be on the right side. So that's even more reason I think we could go ahead on and put Penning on the right tackle, because I just feel like, Ryan Ramczyk, he's playing through a real injury like that could cause his career to be over. Like if it just, if he injures it even further. So, I think it's time to start shoring up that offensive line, and when it comes to the right tackle position, when it comes to maybe the left tackle position, because I don't think Pete is gonna just be the left tackle for the future, and we still don't know what's gonna happen with Penning. Like maybe he pan out in year 2, maybe he pan out in year 3 like Ruiz. Still got to give it time, but we still gonna have to make the right necessary moves to just keep this offensive line fortified for our next quarterback that's gonna take the helm. So I just hope that we just, get somebody of the future and they could just battle it out with Jake Hayner to see who's gonna be that next guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
So all I know is we're gonna enjoy this victory Monday and enjoy this good week because they always talk about the 24-hour thing and all that stuff. I get it. But we're gonna enjoy this win and get ready for Chicago and Minnesota in the next couple of weeks before the bye, and we'll just see what direction we go from here.
all right, man, cool, man. Sure. You got anything else, Jerry?
Nah, bro. I mean, that's all I got for right now, man. Except, like I say, congrats on your channel, bro, and your first, like I said, your first debuted live stream on here with me, and hopefully we'll do some more of these going forward in the future, bro.
Oh yeah, man. You always welcome on the show, Jerry. Appreciate the call in. Thanks for the support, man. I think you like
Got
the
you, man.
one- number one supporter when it comes to these YouTube streets out here, man. So I just want to go ahead on and tell you, a lot of content creators, man, it's much appreciated when you get a supporter like you who could just come in and just, genuinely, help these channels out, get these subscribers, chime in with comments, be the moderator. And I just want to give you your flowers while you're here, bro. So
Oh,
thank
appreciate that,
uh
man.
thanks for doing all this for the community. And when you go into these other channels and stuff, tell Dolph come on in and come, on the chat.
I'll
Tell
be sure to
Hoodie
tell them that.
Tell Hoodie when he get back, I know he's sick, tell him come on and, come chop it up with me, all the other podcasters, all the other Saints content creators, TJ, Saints Talk New York, the chat line, Big Q, all of them out there,
I
man.
got you, bro.
I'm
I got you, bro.
welcome to
Hey,
talk with anybody.
hey, yeah, hey. I tell you what, I put it like this. I got connections.
Hey man, make make him do what he do, bro.
Yes, yeah, man. But was it? But yeah, man. This is what I do, bro. This is keep every. But you got people like you, No Cap, and everybody that I chat with in the chat in different podcasts. You guys are the reason why I do this every day. You guys are the reason why I keep going every single day. And when my feet hit the floor, bro, and when I see something that I say, I got you, bro.
Right. All right, man. All right, man. Thanks, Jerry, bro. Have a blessed day, bro. I'm gonna watch this Pelicans game tonight, and hopefully we could get that win.
Oh yeah, yeah. One other thing I want to touch on that. I'm glad you mentioned the Pelicans. They are 2-0 right now. I know they got Golden State later tonight, but as long as as Zion Williamson stay healthy, as long as he stay healthy and all the other players on there, you might be they might be looking at playoffs in April of next year if they stay healthy. I'm not predicting an undefeated season. Maybe 50, maybe 55, maybe 56 games, maybe. And like 30 something loss. Hey, I'm not saying I'm predicting the NBA finals either. We just gotta take it one game at a time. Same way with the Saints. We gotta take it one game at a time with the Pelicans.
Well, they sure do have the talent, but Willie Green just got to get the most out of them guys, and of course they got to stay healthy. Like that's just been the story of the Pelicans and the Saints these couple of years, the injury bug. So hopefully we just get that monkey off our back and we just put these wins together.
And I was also looking at something. Matt Ryan. No, not the quarterback. I'm talking about the basketball player. Didn't he play with the Lakers last year?
I'm not sure where he played from, but
Because I think because I think
heard,
I think
heard of his name, but I'm not sure where he came from.
I think I think I think he played with the Lakers last year. That's the dude that went all over the place.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just shooting left and right. I mean, because I seen it in the playoffs when he was playing against when they was playing against either Golden State or Denver. I can't remember which one they played, but he was acting a fool in that game.
Well, we need shooters. We got Zion to go attack the rim. We got Ingram. He got the mid range. So when Zion, just attack the rim, we just need shooters to kick that ball out and just knock down those threes. We got Matt Ryan. He's knocking them down. We got Hawkins. He's a rookie. He's knocking them down. And we don't forget we're gonna get Trey Murphy back whenever he come healthy. And
Trigger trade. Yep.
and we're gonna get Trigger Trace. So hopefully, all those guys could just definitely help when it comes to kicking that ball out and just knocking down these shots, getting these threes open.
Right. Well, like I say, we'll see where this goes, bruh.
All right, Jerry.
You take it easy, my brother. You be happy. You be blessed and have a blessed week. And we'll talk soon, bruh.
All right, you too, Jerry, man.
All
Thanks.
right. You're welcome, man. Be blessed.
Yeah, man. That was Jerry, man. Shouts out to Jerry, man. That's a Saints OG. If you got a podcast or if you creating Saints content, you most definitely gonna have Jerry be on your show. Jerry just all around in the YouTube verse when it comes to Saints content, man. Really good dude, supports everybody's channels, chimes in, and I just want to give a man his flowers while he here, bro. Like you gotta you know give recognition to the people like that who just uh day one supporters, man. Just the people who gonna be with you when you have under 50 subscribers. So yeah, man. Shouts out to Jerry, man. OG in the Saints YouTube scene. So yeah, man, we got the Saints on a win streak right now. Hopefully we could put together multiple games of this streak. I want to see if we could go 4-0 with these next three games. We got the Pelicans play tonight. And sure, it's just a good time to be a Pelicans or a Saints fan, man. It's just a real good time. Like everybody's in good spirits this weekend, and you could just sense the you could just sense the energy. Like it's just so much better when you could just come in off a win, bro. It's just so much better, man. Everybody just going into work with a smile on their face. Can't wait to go see the people who just been making all type of jokes and making fun of us, just being a laughing stock, just being just embarrassing. But when you just get that win, you could go to work with your head held high and just feel good. And hopefully the Pelicans could keep this going. I think LSU play right around the corner. uh Tulane, they won their game. LSU women's basketball, they already got them some good players they had coming into the season. So yeah, man, everything's just looking good for us right now. Everything's just looking good when it comes to New Orleans and surrounding area sports. So sure. I just want to say this is my first stream. This was fun. I had a caller come in. It was it wasn't shocking to me. It was Jerry, but yeah, man, this was fun, man. I can't wait to do many more of these. But all I gotta say when I'm signing out right now is who that and God bless, man.